Did they,
I soon discovered that Lindy was one of the older competitors. Her age group was one of about a dozen different infantile age groups, each age group competing in a dozen different categories. The hotel was teeming with very tiny girls. I didn't know where the older girls were, or if there were any, but the corridor was full of the younger girls' mothers. I suppressed the ungallant thought that it didn't take too many mothers to fill the corridor. Where were tomorrow's air hostesses, models, and film stars? I'd found the kindergarten, but there was no sign of the beauty pageant. Time to meet the organizers, Judy and Sharon.
I live in Denver, Colorado. I like to dance and swim and play with my baby sister Georgia. I'm having fun in here in Kentucky, and I hope you are too.
Christie's and Angelo was still only half the height of the kind of girl I'd been expecting, but she was already well established on a career in pageantry. A pageant assesses the whole woman in all her aspects. It wasn't just Miss North America they were looking for. They were also looking for excellence in every department of female activity, from the cradle onwards. This section was called modeling, and the idea was to introduce yourself in a verbally intriguing way before showing your command of all the basic walks and turns. It's not so easy when there are flint-faced judges watching and your mother isn't allowed to come up on the catwalk.
Hi, my name is Deborah Marie Baumgart, but my friends call me Debbie. My hobbies are dancing, singing, and roller skating, although I had to give up roller skating for the past month because my mother didn't want me to come to nationals with black and blue knees. This fall, I will be entering first grade at Jeffrey Elementary School in Kenosha, Wisconsin. I'm looking forward to a bright new year, and I wish the same for all of you. Thank you.
If self-confidence counted for anything, then Deborah Marie Baumgart would make up for those missing milk teeth. But as an American beauty, she still had the drawback of being about 15 years too young. The same applied to the next competitor, who took a less assertive approach.
Hi, my name is Crystal Heron. I'm 5 years old, and I live in Lake City, Tennessee. I enjoy swimming, ballet, baton, tap, acrobats, and most of all, fighting with my brother. Thank you.
Measured along the vertical axis, Crystal Lynn Heron was also some years short of full womanhood, but she had increased her diameter with makeup, thereby attaining the awesome poise of Jackie O. Revising my expectations downward, I resigned myself to seeing a lot of very young women. Thus, I was ill-prepared for the shock of seeing a very young man.
Hi, I'm David Branham. I'm 4 years old. Hi, I'm David Branham.
You're going to tell them what you like to do, what your favorite things are. Just go ahead and tell them. Oh, I think they got that part. You can tell them that you're 4 years old again and then go on with the things that you like. They heard your name. Okay? Okay? Okay. Tell Mr. Faber what you like to do for your hobbies, okay? What do you like to do? You don't want to tell him? Hmm? No? Huh? Well, you want to start over again with my name is David Brandon and I'm 4 years old. Huh? You know, you are so cute. Huh? You don't want to say it? He wants to do his modeling now. I think we're going to do our modeling. We're going to get him to do his modeling. He doesn't want to talk anymore.
She won't do an early model so we can go to town. Hurry. Just lay out next to him. Hurry, you talk before talk, please. Just lay out next to him. I'm 4 years old from Newport, Tennessee. You'll have something.
Little David's big dry was a reminder that it isn't easy to be a man in a world full of women. What are those mothers trying to do? Are they trying to live through their children, do you think?
I think some of them are.
And a lot of people try to gain a little bit of glamour that they don't have in their everyday life, I think. Beauty pageants they're a glamorous thing. I mean, this is a nice place and it's exciting to be here. And they come from a little town down in Podunk, Iowa or somewhere. And this is exciting for them. And I think that's the reason they like to do it.
Julie.
And now we have Heidi Likens, contestant number 114. Heidi's going to reach.
But if Heidi Likens was a big girl, she must have been invisible.
Here she goes. One question. Thank you. Come on over here. Whoa, we're going to move it way down. How are you, Heidi? Can you tell everybody how you are? Right here. How are you? Are you good? Yeah, okay. Good enough. What new toy would you like to have the most? And can you tell us about it?
2.
What new toy?
2.
You want 2 toys? What do you want?
2.
Okay. What is that?
2.
Okay. Okay, do you like dolls?
Uh-huh.
What kind of doll?
2.
Okay, that's fine. How about, do you ride a bike? Yes. What color is your bike?
2.
Okay, well, thank you very much. Okay, you.
As Heidi embarked on the next part of the test, it occurred to me that I liked her approach to life. She had an answer for everything, and the answer was always the same. But realistically, Heidi could only expect to be blown away by the professionalism of the next contestant, the all-conquering Cuddlesome Huddleston.
Right here. How are you, Lindy?
5.
All right. Tell us about your favorite toy.
My telephone.
Your telephone. When did you get it?
My mom bought it for me
And why do you like that telephone?
because I can call people with it.
Okay, thank you, Lindy.
Okay.
As Cuddlesome went through her paces with the assurance of Martina Navratilova leading 5-love and a set-up, it became obvious that she was crushing the opposition out. What made Cuddlesome run? I resolved to set up an interview so as to probe the secrets of her seemingly irresistible will to win. Have you been in a pageant before?
Yeah.
Did you do well in the pageant before?
Yeah.
Did you get a trophy?
Yeah.
Is it a big trophy?
A little bit big.
Show me how big. That big? You like being in the competition?
Yeah.
You like trying to win?
Yeah.
What happens when you sort of, you don't do so well? Do you always remember your words or your dance?
If I don't do well, then I don't get trophy.
What are you going to do in this pageant?
Try real hard.
Try real hard. But what sort of things are you going to do? You've already done the dance. What other things are you going to do? You in?
That's it.
The 3 little pigs.
Little pigs.
You're going to do the 3 Little Pigs.
Yeah.
But Cuddlesome Huddleston's 3 Little Pigs number, the routine that would sew up the title in her age group, wouldn't be seen until later in the week. Some of them have been a long time perfecting their act. And there was a gratifying new development.
From your parents after you are married.
After I'm married, I feel that the responsibility is up to me, and my husband would have a lot to do with supporting me as I was supporting him, and I feel that my parents have supported me before I was married, and it's up to myself to support myself after I'm married. Thank you.
Thank you.
This was the famous Teal Peters, who'd won every title on the way up and was a hot tip to win the main title this year. The girls out in the corridor would have to uncork some pretty nifty answers if they were going to beat Teal's line about mutual support in marriage.
I want you to rate beauty and brains for me. Which is the most important, and give it a number.
I think brains are the most important, and I would give that about a 9, because you have to go somewhere in life, and everybody is pretty in their own special way, and brains are what you need to make a career and go to college and further your education and do the best that you can do.
And what number would you give beauty?
I would give beauty about an 8. It's close in the running, but you've got to be smart first.
Okay, Eddie, thank you.
Thank you.
This was Hetty Popson, a high-powered veteran of the pageant looking for a career in communications. But she was not the only contestant with intellectual ambitions.
I'm studying French right now, presently, and I enjoy the language, and I someday hope to go to France and stay there for a little bit, so I think that would benefit me to know the language.
Personally, I don't believe I'm going to ever get married, and that's just my personal opinion, but also I feel a person should at least wait until they're after 25, because I feel they've lived long enough or they've had enough experience in life at this time to make the decision for themselves. Thank you.
Women are coming a long way now. They do have the chances, and they have a mind of their own. They are just as intelligent as any male, and I think they could do a superb job as president.
I love my dog, and I think that if anyone took him away from me, that I would be sad. He's a friend that I love.
Jealousy has a major factor to do with world problems, because, say, one country would have more nuclear weapons or some sort of weapons, and the other one doesn't, and they get upset about it, and they start arguing about that. So I think personal situations has a lot to do with world problems, too. Thank you.
Recovering in the foyer from the philosophical challenge of this symposium, I spotted the dog lover and the lady of personal situations heading towards the pinboard to check out the announcements. Unless I had mistaken the face, the lady of personal situations was the Miss Teen Talent I had seen hyperventilating in a video of last year's contest. So why was she here this year? If I was ever going to unravel the complex workings of the Kentucky pageant, it was time to ingratiate myself. Hey girls, can I talk to you for a minute?
Hi. Hi.
What are your names?
Michelle.
Where are you from?
McLean, Virginia.
What's your name?
I'm Sandra Patton from Pennsylvania.
How's the pageant going?
Oh, it's going really well so far. It's exciting, meeting a lot of new people.
You been in pageants before?
Yes, I've come to Naps for 7 years.
And you?
I haven't. This is my first
This is your
pageant.
first time, so you've been telling her all the ropes and all that sort of stuff?
I grabbed her right off and made her help me.
You look in terrific shape. What do you do to keep fit?
I swim, and I play basketball, too. I dance, play tennis.
Simultaneously, by the look of it. I personally stay in terrific shape by jogging every morning.
Oh, do you?
You think you'd care to join me tomorrow morning?
Jogging?
Well, you don't have to react like that.
What time in the morning?
Like early?
How early?
Well, say 6:30.
Right. 6:30?
6:30 in the morning. My gosh, you see me at 6:30 in the
You
morning.
should see me at 6:30 in the morning.
Oh, don't you lose that light in your eyes. You're never too old to love. It's never too late.
Worried under the pressure of your mother telling you not to worry. Above all, you have to keep walking and turning while your personal philosophy is read out over the public address system.
Lindy's 4 years old, and she comes from Ypsilanti, Michigan. Lindsay's ambition is to be an entertainer. Her hobbies are drawing and writing.
That was Cuddlesome, still piling up the points. But little Heidi, the girl who answers 2 to every question, froze on the catwalk.
She's a born actress. Tantrums, temper. She's the mini Miss Ohio for 1983. She's done beautifully till, I don't know. Don't cry. Don't cry. No, everything's going to be okay. Mommy loves you. Here's your old pal. Okay. Let's go. Say bye-bye.
I sympathize with Heidi. The same thing happened to me when I was a lot older. But Heidi had a great future answering questions like, what's the square root of 4? And how many atoms in a molecule of oxygen?
2 to 4 division is not my
They'll be playing my
The standard having been set, Sandra came on to show why she had been unbeatable in the talent section for the previous 100 years. It was a first-class novelty act, which you could imagine her doing in vaudeville, if vaudeville was still alive. Teal Peters' specially choreographed dance number exploited an element often absent in the work of the other contestants, the unexpected. The Holiday Inn Louisville, just off the interstate highway opposite the truck repair depot, was not where you would normally hope to see a belly dancer. The only way she could lose, as far as I could see, was through being too exotic for the judges. Turkish delight in a hamburger environment.
Well, it's not a matter of how you win, it's just a matter of how you play the game and how you feel. If you can't win, then it's the feeling inside.
What about all those girls who are losing? Pretty Dress was the one that had soaked up the most money, time, and tears. a disproportionate allocation of funds on somebody's part could stop all these wonderful girls finishing equal first in this section. And there she was. Her name was Carol Kreider, and the dress was made of 1,000,000 beads that looked as if they cost $1 each. I thought it was a tribute to the essential niceness of America in general, and the pageant in particular, that the masked and mainly massive mothers didn't storm the catwalk and dismantle Carol's outfit with their teeth. Clearly, Carol would win the ball gown award. But would that be enough to make her Miss North America? Instead of a lynching, there was a party. As the pageant neared its climax, all the participants sat down to dinner. Before sitting down, however, they had to get in. No ticket, no paper plate.
To get in the door, honey. Door tickets, not dinner tickets.
Yeah, because I asked. I mean, they all have to have a dinner ticket?
Well, unless you feed them up, they will not get a plate. Okay?
Well, that's fine, then they won't eat. Just want to stop blocking the door and let us out of the way so we don't
Yes.
get in.
Are you going to go in or not?
No, you can go in. We can go in.
All right.
They just won't eat.
Tickets are ambiguous when you
You gotta try to be a little more organized so you don't have this kind of problem. This is ridiculous.
Did I give you your ticket
Christ.
He was hyperventilating, but the pageant wasn't really an event for fathers anyway.
Run a show like a dog.
My ticket, Suzanne. No, that's okay. Give her a ticket. I know her mother does.
Thank you, Sharon.
Beverly gets hers. Well, good.
Charlie.
Hello, Debbie. Debbie, smile. Don't look so disgusted, honey. Do you have your stub?
Okay.
Do you have your stub? Okay.
Okay. Let me step your hand, young man. Back of the hand.
No, it's all right, honey. It's all right.
It doesn't hurt, see?
There was David again, still not saying very much. Or perhaps he was in training to be a Trappist monk. While the paper plate party got underway, everyone tried not to think of tomorrow, including Cuddlesome Huddleston, who by now was generally considered to have her event wrapped up. Favors were distributed. One girl handed out Smurf lapel badges to a total cost of several $100s, but nobody really had to buy affection. Everybody loved everybody. The niceness was overwhelming. Michelle was still getting used to the big time with the constant presence and advice of Mrs. Pettibone. Teal seemed to be preparing a fallback position as a photographer, like Linda McCartney or Gina Lollobrigida. Hetty was doing a lot of organizing. She was a Geraldine Ferraro in embryo. Cuddlesome led the line of autograph hunters. Previous title holders at the top table were besieged for their signatures, as if they were famous, which they were within the world of the pageant. Perhaps that was the point, to be world famous in a small world.
You don't want me to...
I suddenly recognized one of the celebrities as the unknown youth who had been sleeping in our equipment room for the previous week. It turned out that he was last year's Mr. North America. If he was so beautiful, why was he so broke? There was no time to find out.
There you go.
With the heat and humidity at infernal heights, the second last day was the biggest of the pageant for the small contestants. These were the finals, with young aspirants of both sexes fighting it out, talent to talent.
All of me. Why not take all of me? Can't you see I'm no good without you? Take my lips. I want to lose them. Take my eyes. I never use them. keep on looking for the bluebird, listening for his song. Never able showers, moonlight, the showers come up.
There was some high-powered stuff here, but everybody was waiting for the unstoppable Cuddlesome Huddlesome to wipe out the opposition with her Three Little Pigs routine.
Once upon a time, there were 3 little pigs. One little pig made his house out of grass, and the second little pig made his house out of wood, and the third little pig made his house out of brick. And one day the bad wolf came along and he said, "Let me in, little pig! Let me in!" Something terrible! Chinny, chin, chin! Then I will huff, and I will puff, and I will blow your house down. So he huffed, and he puffed, and he blew the house down. So the pig raced up to his brother's house of brick. And one day the bad wolf came along and he said, "Let me in, little pig! Let me in!" Not by the handbar, chinny, chin, chin! Then I will huff, and I will puff, and I will blow your house down. So he huffed and he puffed and he blew the house down. I can't think.
The huge lead might well have vanished entirely. Within seconds, I was ruthlessly interviewing her mother to find out what had gone wrong.
She can see over the microphone, and and she can't see the people she's talking to.
Yeah.
So,
She was doing so well.
yeah, but when she gets to a certain point, she wants to be able to see, and so.
You got the sense that Cuddlesome wouldn't let a setback stop her. She'd be back again with the 3 little pigs. She'd be back again with the 4 little pigs.
You did the best you can do. Okay?
Okay.
Dee talked her way to a title. Was Teal really going to be Miss North America? What prize would they give Sandra when she wasn't even supposed to be competing? And how could they all run so fast without hyperventilating?
Awards presentation for North American Pageant Systems. My name is Judy Jones, and I'm Executive Director for North American Pageant Systems. And this is Sharon Pettit, and she is Executive National Coordinator. For those of you who may be visiting an audience or relatives, North American Pageant Systems is a Michigan-based corporation. We hold modeling and talent competitions and seminars all over the United States for children. At this particular point in our lives, we are very proud to present to you the 1983 North American National Solo Contestants. Please give them a big hand.
The epic ceremony started with Cuddlesome Huddlesome's age group. She was the first of a whole row of runners-up, meaning that she'd blown herself out of top spot.
First runner-up is Lindy Huddleston.
So who was the winner? Cuddlesome stayed cool, but the rest of us were on the edge of our plastic seats.
84 is Shauna Balestri.
Where did she come from? I never even noticed her in the crowd. Here was additional proof of how the pageant judges look for the finer points, invisible to the layman's eye. But it never hurts for the favorite to be pipped by an outsider. In America, you really can come from nowhere and win, especially when there are so many prizes it takes all day to hand them out.
Look at me, I'm as helpless as a kitten love tree. walking on a cloud. I can't understand, Lord. I miss the holding your hand. I walk my way, and 1,000 violins began to play. Or it might be the sound of your hello, that music I hear, Lord. I miss the moment you near.
As noon turned to afternoon, the Miss North America Teen Talent title was not won by Michelle Pettibone, but she got a trophy for being 10th. The Miss Teen Talent title went to Becky Alvarado, who had come out of left field without my even spotting she was carrying the ball.
You can say that you're leading me on, but it's just what I want you to do. Don't you notice how hopelessly I'm lost? That's why I'm following you on my own. Should I wander through this?
And now, with the sun setting outside over the truck repair yard, the biggest prize of all, for the girl with the ideal combination of talent, personality, moral qualities, philosophical insight, personal appearance being only a contributory factor, but on the other hand, no drawback. Would Teal Peters be Miss North America? Would it be hot tomorrow? Would there be trucks on the highway outside the Holiday Inn?
Is Christy Giles, and our new Miss North America is Teal Peters from Wisconsin.
So Teal got the prize. But they all got the prize, really. That's what a pageant is, where everybody gets a prize. You might even say that that's what America is. Everyone gets a trophy as big as a skyscraper that weighs as much as a butterfly's wing. You might also say that the people in the pageant have got a point. For most of them, the dreams of glory in the outside world won't come true. But the same is true for the rest of us. And meanwhile, they learn to lose gracefully, a lesson bound to come in handy.
America, Linda Townsend, Tracy Davis, Phil Kreider, Christy Giles, and our new Miss North America for 1983, Teal Peters from Green Bay, Wisconsin.
Teal Peters was the star of the pageant. Whether she would be a star in real life was another question. Maybe this was the high point of her career, and maybe that was no bad thing. Because stardom is usually best left to those who can't live without it. Stardom isn't fun, for example. It just looks like it. The pageant is fun, which probably rules it out of serious consideration. Nobody really gets hurt. Everybody cries nearly all the time. And nobody cries harder than the winner.
Oh, don't you feel like playing the fool? Just step out of line, break all the rules. Don't you let them tell you it's not for you. Don't go growing old before you're due. Stay young, keep your wheels in motion. You got everything that you need. Stay young with your rock and rollin'. All the best things in life are free.
Next morning, the pageant people had all gone and taken their tinsel trophies with them. I was the only one left in my age group, but they still didn't give me a title. Mr. Middle-aged, overweight, hyperventilating Australia, the forgotten man of the great American beauty pageant.
You're going to wish they'd never abolished capital punishment.